So, Merry Christmas in July if you celebrate. Black Christmas is the gift that keeps on giving because I have seen it literally 30 or 40 times and I keep on noticing new things and it keeps on getting funny and more disturbing every time I see it. So, thing number one, Barb, Margot Kidder's character, the sad, over-the-top drunk comedy character. Barb has a glass menagerie, as in the Tennessee Williams play, where there was a girl who never left her house who had a bunch of glass animals. And Barb's glass menagerie, just as in the play, represents fragility, which Barb has because of her asthma, isolation. Well, she's an alcoholic, and her mother made other plans for Christmas, and living in a fantasy world where she's drinking too much and saying these inappropriate things and thinking that it makes her happy, but it doesn't. And the thing about the Tennessee Williams play is that it all hinged around a gentleman caller, and sickly and sadly, these women at the sorority house literally have a gentleman caller, the killer who is making the obscene phone calls, who tells Barb, "I'm going to kill you," in the flattest, most terrifying voice. Glass menagerie, right here in the middle of this movie. Okay, and this took me way too long to figure out. Black Christmas is a subversion of the title White Christmas, of the song that Bing Crosby sang in Holiday Inn. So white in this case would mean the renewal of the world because Jesus was born, the snow, a starting over. Black is shadows and death and obscurity and the mystery that isn't going to be solved in this film, because that's a thing that you have to realize if you haven't watched this. There's no solution. I've seen it 30, 40 times. My brain keeps trying to put it together because that's what brains do. I look for patterns, but there ain't no patterns. And let's have a little musical interlude. Okay, that's the song that the carolers were singing when Jess came to the door looking beatific and pregnant. Yes, Jess is the final girl of Black Christmas, and traditionally, since all the slashers that came after this movie ripped it off and also made all the rules, the final girl was always the virginal one, the one that wasn't indulging in any hanky-panky. But Jess is pregnant. Unfortunately, and I didn't like to admit this until tonight, Jess is dead at the end of the film as the credits roll because John Saxon, the detective, has detected a pattern that every time the killer kills, he then makes a phone call. And so everyone leaves the house with Jess asleep and sedated, and then the phone starts ringing. So we know that she's dead, and all of this has been futility. Okay, now Art Hindle's character, Chris, when Jess finds him in the middle of the film at the hockey rink, he's wearing a hockey mask. And that didn't mean anything yet in 1974, but when the Friday 13th movies rolled on until part 3, when Jason got his hockey mask, maybe someone had seen Black Christmas and seen this towering Art Hindle in this weird mask and decided to put it on the killer. And it makes me think for the first time that maybe he was supposed to be a red herring or a suspect in Black Christmas. He's very attentive. He keeps touching the women comfortingly, which no one would have thought much about back then. But if we're looking at it now, it does seem like someone who is, I know it's his girlfriend, Claire, that's gone missing, but normally he would be a suspect because he's involved. He's the boyfriend of one of the girls that's missing. So Maybe so, but that's not why he's wearing the hockey mask yet. It just looks that way to modern viewers. And the other things about modern viewers is if you're a young person and you're watching this, do you know why we say the calls are coming from inside the house when what we mean is that you're the problem? It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. The calls are coming from inside the house because the problem is within you. Well, this movie and an urban legend that led up to this movie, Black Christmas, is the reason that we say the calls are coming from inside the house. And it's now become a metaphor for someone not realizing that they have a problem and that they're the ones causing it. But in this case, the killer was literally hiding in the sorority house making the phone calls. And you may not know that back then, and in the 80s, because this was a fun trick that everybody used to do at home, you could pick up the landline and call your own number, and it would ring on another extension in the house, and you could prank call the people in your house. So that's what's happening here. The calls are coming from inside the house. And as a bonus, do you know why Barb said that they had a number that was fellatio and then the number? I didn't realize this at first, but people used to have a phone number that was a word. It's the same thing as Pennsylvania 65000 or Transylvania 65000. They didn't have the 3-number exchange and then the 4-number phone number. So they had to call the operator and say Fellatio 7355 or whatever it was. So I don't know if that joke would work now. I don't know if it showed up in the later remakes. I haven't watched any of them. But anyway, that's what I've got tonight. I love Christmas in July. I'm very happy when I rewatch a movie and figure out new things about it and get to come and tell you, my friends. And so in the meantime, I don't know what to say. I don't have a cute sign off. Don't drink too much. And call your dad. Call your mom. Use a cell phone. Good night. And Merry Christmas in July.